In a weekend defined by high-stakes drama and officiating controversy, the Premier League has been rocked by the fallout of Manchester United's stunning 3-2 victory over Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. The match, which saw Mikel Carrick's rejuvenated side climb into the top four, was overshadowed by two critical VAR decisions that have left the North London faithful in a state of absolute disbelief. The Pgmol has since issued an extraordinary clarification regarding the incidents, attempting to soothe the growing tension between the league and its title-chasing leaders. The first flashpoint occurred during the build-up to Patrick Dorgu's sensational strike, which put Manchester United ahead in the second half. Arsenal players and staff erupted in protest, claiming the 21-year-old had used his hand to control the ball before unleashing his volley. While the goal was allowed to stand at the time, subsequent reviews and an official apology from the VAR room suggested that a significant oversight occurred. The admission that the footage was inconclusive during the heat of the moment has done little to satisfy Mikel Arteta, who viewed the incident as a clear turning point. Parallel to the Dorgu controversy was an even more divisive moment involving Harry Maguire. In the 71st minute, with United leading 2-1, a powerful strike from Mikel Merino struck Maguire's outstretched arm as he fell to the turf. Despite the ball's trajectory being clearly altered, VAR Paul Tierney opted not to award a penalty, citing that supporting arm rule. The decision suggested that because Maguire was using his arm to break his fall, the contact was accidental and non-punishable, a verdict that has since been labelled bizarre by several officiating experts. The reaction from the Arsenal supporters at the Emirates was nothing short of volcanic. As the final whistle blew, the stadium, usually a fortress of optimism this season, was filled with a chorus of boos and chants directed at the officiating crew. On social media, the #VAR Outrage began trending globally within minutes, with fans sharing freeze frames of Maguire's handball and questioning the consistency of the supporting arm interpretation when compared to previous dismissals. Arsenal Fan TV, AFTV, and other prominent fan channels became hubs for the outpouring of grief and anger. Maguire turned into a goalkeeper, one fan famously shouted during a post-match interview, reflecting a sentiment shared by thousands. The sense of injustice was compounded by the fact that this was Arsenal's first home loss of the season, a result that significantly narrowed their lead at the top of the table over Manchester City and Aston Villa. The controversy has drawn the attention of the highest levels of football officiating, including the legendary Pierluigi Collina. The FIFA referee's chief, known for his uncompromising stance on transparency, reportedly expressed concern over the inconsistency of handball interpretations in the Premier League. Collina emphasized that technology should be a tool for clarity, not a source of further confusion, and hinted that the 2026 World Cup would see even stricter protocols to avoid the grey areas witnessed in North London. Other legends of the game were equally vocal. Former Arsenal captain Patrick Vieira, speaking from the Sky Sports studio, noted that while the Gunners looked nervous and tentative in their play, they were undeniably on the receiving end of two harsh calls. Vieira argued that the momentum of a title race often hinges on these millimetre decisions, and that the lack of a penalty for the Maguire incident felt like a robbery of the team's hard work. Roy Keane, never one to mince words, offered a more balanced but characteristically blunt take. While acknowledging the handball claims, Keane pointed toward Arsenal's defensive lapses, specifically questioning the positioning of Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi during the build-up to United's goals. To Keane, the VAR drama served as a distraction from what he perceived as a softness in the Arsenal backline under the pressure of a big-game environment. The Pgmol's reported apology has sparked a secondary debate about the value of post-match admissions. For many Arsenal fans, a "we got it wrong" statement 24 hours later provides zero comfort when 3 points have already been stripped away. This incident has reignited calls for live VAR audio to be broadcast in stadiums, a move that proponents believe would at least allow fans to understand the logic, however flawed, behind such game-changing decisions. Mikel Carrick, meanwhile, has remained largely diplomatic, focusing on the tactical discipline of his United side. He praised Patrick Dorgu's finish and the resilience of his defenders, including Maguire, who has found a new lease on life under the interim manager. From the United perspective, these decisions were the rub of the green that they have often lacked in recent seasons, and they are happy to take the points back to Manchester regardless of the surrounding noise. As the dust settles, the Premier League table shows a much tighter race than anyone expected at the turn of the year. Arsenal remains at the summit with 50 points, but their 4-point cushion feels increasingly fragile. The mental toll of the defeat, combined with the feeling of being wronged by the system, will be the greatest challenge for Mikel Arteta to manage as his side prepares for their next outing. Ultimately, the scenes at the Emirates will be remembered as a defining moment in the 2025-26 season. Whether it serves as a wake-up call for officiating reform or simply another chapter in the long history of VAR controversy remains to be seen. For now, that apology stands as a cold consolation for a club that felt they were playing against 12 men on a Sunday afternoon that changed the trajectory of the title race.